Oh, so fabulous.
Welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. Welcome back. So my little disclaimer as usual, please, this video is strictly for educational purposes. Do not go searching for anybody that I talk about in this video. Don't send them any form of hate comments, threats, or violence. This channel does not support any of that. So today we're going to be talking about this very video that was made by a Hispanic man addressing the Black community. Let's roll the clip.
This video right here, I'm making it for Black people. That's right, Black people. You know how y'all Black people look at us and say, damn, why is Chico driving that badass truck? Why is Amigo having that badass car? You know how that is? We stick together. Us Hispanics, we work together. We help each other out. As a Hispanic, you know what I have seen with Black people? You guys are always trying to compete against each other. Who's got the better car? Who's got the better truck? Who's got the better bitch? Always comparing each other's shit. Always trying to fight each other. Always trying to put each other down. Y'all need to work together, like us Hispanics do. That's the difference between Hispanics and Black people. That's why a Hispanic starts a business. Most of the time, he's successful because he's not doing it all by himself. He's got help. We work together. Y'all Black people need to do that. Stick together, help each other out. Stop the fuck competing. That's not helping. Peace.
So when I watched that video, I'm not going to lie, I didn't know how to feel. There was a part of me that was like, okay, I should be objective enough to not feel a certain way that it's someone that is not a part of our community who is giving us this advice. So I listened to what he said, and yeah, before I talk about my thoughts on it, let me just play some responses and some stitches and commentary to his video.
That's right, Black people.
Who are you to put all Black people in one category? We are successful as a people. We do uplift one another as a people. We do share as a people. We do respect one another as a people. You have in every community, in every walk of life, someone that will go against their own race, not help them out. But see, that's in every community. It's not exclusive to Black folk.
For Black people.
I am just getting up, but I had to stitch this video because in this video, if you haven't watched it, he's talking about how Black people don't stick together, how they always go against each other, and how we wonder sometimes when we see Hispanics why they have what they have. I have been saying for years, and my daughter will tell you, I'll jokingly say, but I'm serious, like, I wonder will a Hispanic family adopt me and let me into their family, because I see it all the time. I live across from a Hispanic family that are togetherness. When their people come in town, they stay right there with them. They party together. They build together. They help each other out. When I see people working on their cars, it's the Hispanic people. A Hispanic came to cut one of my other neighbors' grass that's not Hispanic. But my neighbor that's Hispanic came across and he was like, yeah, I don't know what they were saying, but I'm sure she was asking about her grass need to be cut. He jumped right on it. Not that he didn't cut the other grass, but the moral of it is he is so correct. Right now I'm at work dealing with an issue at work where I have African-American supervisors. I have African-American majority co-workers, and they all fight together. They're threatened by any little thing you do, so then they come down on you and try to work against you, and it's just sad. All the African American women that work there turn their nose up at me. They don't speak. They walk around like the shit don't stink. But all the other women that are not Hispanic, though, they're Caucasian, they speak. They ask me, do I need help? And it's just sad that this is so true. They don't want you to be better than them. They don't want you to make more money than them. And it's just sad how African Americans are going down. African Americans will work against each other every time. You might have a small group of them that will work together, but majority of the time they will work against each other. They will try to pull you down. They will try to degrade you. They will try to put salt on your name. Anything for them to get to the top. Anything.
This video right here, I'm making it.
Let me be clear. I watched this video 3 different times just to make sure I was digesting it accurately. I'm not one of those people who feels like I need to tear down another race in order for me to lift mine up. I also believe in a thing called a SME, a subject matter expert, as in the person who is most equipped to speak on certain topics. And when you're talking about the black experience or black behaviors or why black people do the things that they do, I don't think a person who's not black can be a subject matter expert. But I do want to speak to the message more than the messenger anyway. If a person is Hispanic and you want to embrace the togetherness within your community, then you go right ahead. You want to focus on the positives, you go right ahead. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to allow you to cherry pick the black community to fit a false narrative. Because see, if I wanted to go there, I could just look at the voting record to prove the Hispanic community is not together. I live in a city that's 60% Hispanic, and I can't turn on the evening or morning news without seeing a person who's been shot, assaulted, arrested, who's Hispanic. Of course, nobody calls it Hispanic on Hispanic crime. They just call it crime, right? So you don't see it as Hispanic people doing each other wrong. If we see a Hispanic dude with a nice car or a Hispanic person with a nice home, we say it's a nice car. That's a badass ride. That's a beautiful home. We're not out there giving the oh-ho to things what people have. We don't do that. We're not built that way. Now, if you want to say we're inspired to want to get something like that, then we can have that conversation. You cannot question the togetherness of the black community. We've been together since the boat brought us here. And the things I keep bringing up that people don't want to talk about, if it was not for the fight and the togetherness of the black community, a lot of Latinos would not have the rights they have today in this country. Do black people aspire to achieve and to compete? Yes. Oftentimes, unfortunately, it is the system that pits us against each other. So few get loans, so few black businesses, so the black businesses are competing against each other. So few people get hired by companies, so when they get in on leadership roles that are limited for black people, oftentimes it is the black people competing with one another. Who doesn't want to have a beautiful woman? Who doesn't want to have an attractive man? When you see a black person who buys a house or has a nice car, we don't want them to not have the house or not have the car. We may want that too. We recognize we're in the same climb together. Hispanic community is together. The Indian community is together. Asian community is together. We know white people are definitely together, and black people damn sure are too. Black people robbing from one another. Black people killing each other. Black people stealing from each other. Black people on welfare. Name the race who ain't. I'll wait. There ain't a damn thing negative in the black community that you want to speak on that you can't speak on in any other community. The only difference is you're seeing and saying the black part out loud. I wish people who are not black would stop trying to speak on the black community unless you're going to focus on the things that are against the black community first. Because see, the crab mentality is not as complex as you think it is, who don't think they can get out, so they stay put in the bucket. In the bucket, you have crabs who don't want to stay in the bucket and they fight to get out. And because for some crabs, because it's all they've ever known is inside the bucket, they think that's where they're meant to be. Don't criticize the crab mentality. Criticize those that put them in the bucket and took away the means by how they can get out the bucket and have limited the opportunities for them to get out of the bucket and are fighting like hell to erase the history so you don't learn how they got put in the bucket. But you ain't ready for that conversation.
With black people, you guys are always trying to compete against each other.
Black people, let's have this conversation. Even outside of competing with each other, we have the audacity not to want to give each other grace. You have one bad experience at a Black restaurant or a Black boutique, and all I ever hear is, see, that's why I don't buy stuff from Black people. But you've yet to say that about any other culture and race, even if they've gone on TV and the internet to tell you they don't want your money and they don't want you to buy their stuff or wear their stuff. You will still stand in line for hours to get these things and to demand that they take your money, even though they've told you that they don't like you. So ask yourself, why are you so unforgiving with your own people? Why do you not give us the same grace that you give to other people? Allow Black people to make a mistake. Allow Black people to have a bad day. Allow Black people to improve their service as well. And give us the same grace that you give to others.
Together. Us Hispanic.
There are some Black people that's going to have a problem with what he said, but there's no lie. Black people are the only group of people who compete against each other. Not with each other, against each other. You have to outdo the person next to you. Meanwhile, the Hispanic community, the Asian community, all of these other communities, they work together. They are literally a village helping one another to make it, helping one another to realize that, hey, I need you, you need me. That's the problem, and we have to fix that. We do.
For Black people.
Can somebody tell me why is it that people feel they have the right to get up and speak on Black people and our issues, and they have not a clue about our history, about not only what we do, but what we've been through, about sticking together? We've had whole towns, whole cities, whole multi-billion-dollar corporations. What are you talking about? You Hispanics don't even like each other. And I know because I've raised several of your children. And they are just as colorist and racist and biased as white people to their own people, which shocked me to find that out. So how about you worry about your Hispanic people and mind that business, because that's what's the business that pays you, and stay out of Black folks. How about that?
I'm making it for Black people.
This is nice and all. It was a very nice message, but it'll go right over the head, in one ear and out the other. Why? Because Black people want white love. They don't want Black togetherness. They want white love and approval. And they'll do anything, and I mean anything, because I'm the result of anything, to get it. It's not that they're going against each other. They are for people who can give two lovely fucks about them and will make an ass out of them every time. The majority of Black people are like this. The majority of Black people want white love. They want white approval. And what is that? The majority of it is the approval of people who hate them. It's not even the white people who accept them. Black people don't give a fuck about white people who accept them or who are neutral towards them. No, it's the white people that hate them that gives them this power, this drive to never-ending task that they're willing to do to be approved by them. When we can stop as a people, as a whole people, stop wanting this white love and approval, then you will see how far Black people can go as a group. Until then, we're not going nowhere. We're going to run this into the wall every time. And it's going to reoccur with every generation like it always have. Why? Because we think that someone else loving us is way better than us loving ourselves. And that's the sad part.
For Black people.
Unless you truly know the history of the American melanated person, which only is known by the people that live that life and the government,
or others that choose to actually go and get informed and do the research to find out what happens in the melanated communities, would you understand why we don't stick together and how it came to be that we don't stick together? They killed our leaders and they put drugs in our communities. Furthermore, none of y'all have came and helped the melanated people of America. Please don't judge.
So now that you guys have heard everything that he said, you can see that it's kind of a mixed response. You know, there are people who flat out agree with him, and there are people who are offended by the fact that he's speaking on the black community as someone who's not a member of the black community, right? And there are some people who don't even agree with him at all. They feel like black people support each other, black people don't compete with each other, right? So personally, I kind of feel like it's a combination of everything. You know, I've seen black people that are very passionate about other black people, supporting other black people, helping other black people grow, you know, building up the community. They're all about black love, building strong, healthy black families, supporting black professionals, supporting black owned businesses. There are people like that. And then there are people who don't really care. You know, that whole all skin folk ain't kin folk, they fall under this category. So they are part of people that feel like they don't see color. Some of them are even race traitors. I think that's what you guys call them. Some of them are coons, right? And then there are some people on the other hand that they're part of the black community, but they still have that competition, dog eat dog, crabs in a barrel kind of lifestyle. And I think it's just human nature, because you see what this man said about how Hispanic people support each other. I can almost bet my last kobo is Nigerian currency, by the way. I can almost bet my last kobo that there are some members of the Hispanic community that will say something opposite to what he's saying as well. So I think it's human behavior, but instead of us getting offended by the fact that he's Hispanic speaking on the black community, I think we can all take from it, like, people who have that attitude of competing, you know, not trying to see others do well, not trying to build each other up in the black community, need to take it as a wake-up call and change that narrative. They need to change that attitude of theirs. I think they need to adopt more of the Ubuntu lifestyle. I think Ubuntu is a South African word, meaning I am because you are. That whole lifestyle of community. It takes a whole village to raise a child. Like, I need you to survive, you need me to survive, because that is the way we can move forward as a people, especially when you're in a country that doesn't want to see black people do well, especially in a world where black people are kind of like seen as the bottom of the barrel. We need to help each other to come up. So this is not just even the African American community, black people at large need to support each other and come together. That's it. Now, I don't want you guys to get offended by the fact that it seems like I'm always trying to talk about the African diaspora, especially when the topic is talking about African Americans, but that's just the way I feel. I feel like it's not just about one group of black people getting it. I feel we all have to get it together. I feel like we all have to get it in our individual ethnic groups as black people, and then together as a race, right? Well, you guys let me know what you think about what he said. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I think we just need to be softer and more patient with our people. Sometimes we criticize ourselves and we are a little too harsh with the criticisms, because we also have to be patient with ourselves and realize that we are healing from generations of trauma, from slavery, from colonialism, from the after effects of white supremacy and all of that. So we need to be patient on ourselves and love on each other and support each other. You guys, let me know what you think about this whole thing. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up as well, and to subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.